All right, guys, welcome back as we try to deliberate positions 6 through 10 of our In Control Game of the Year podcast. Just a quick run through of the top 10: AC Odyssey, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Monster Hunter World, God of War, Spiderman, Red Dead 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Detroit Become Human, and Fortnite. So, starting with you, Michael, what do you think is like 10th or back half? Like, what are you thinking right now?
All right. Based on the list right here, I would say my number 10 game would be Fortnite.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree to that.
I'm perfectly okay with that. Fortnite got the recognition it deserves, and it's in 10th, and I think
You made it.
it's
buddy.
very fair, I think.
That's
Like,
what I do, man.
yeah. So that's not a problem with me.
Diplomatic. Huh?
Even last year, man.
Shut up. Ninth. Okay, so let's take out Fortnite from here. One, two, three. I haven't finished AC Odyssey. I don't think it deserves ninth. It should probably be a bit higher than that. How do we feel about Dragon Ball Fighter Z, especially because none of us have really played it all that much?
It's okay.
And I think that is a very fair spot to give it the recognition it deserves. Art style, absolutely glorious. Fighting mechanics from all... I remember seeing a lot of Dragon Ball Fighter Z actually at Comic-Con. There were quite a few people like playing it there. And it just pops on the screen, you know? Looks so good.
And
Mechanics,
the combos looked good as well.
yeah.
There were a lot of
the
combos.
story, I believe, is nonsensical. And
Dragon Ball Z, man.
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball Z.
I would just say not
think-
ninth. I would say not the top 5, but a bit higher.
I don't know, man.
I disagree.
I think ninth is pretty much
Ninth
where
is
Dragon
fair,
Ball
I
deserves to
compared
be.
to what's
Especially
there,
compared to everything else. I think we're giving it a lot of like
I would
props.
say just 8th above Detroit Become Human.
Nah, man. I think Detroit deserves to be not ninth, higher than that. It doesn't have to be top 5, but it can be. I think putting Detroit in ninth is really gonna be selling it short. Personally, I'm just saying that now. I love that.
So we've agreed on 9th.
Yeah.
I think ninth is. Yeah. Yeah. PK.
Next, talk of the devil, Detroit. Detroit, I think at
At 8.
at 8
Over
is
Kingdom
fair.
Come.
That was a bit. Hey.
Dude,
look,
Detroit.
look,
do you
let
know
me
what
say
the,
something.
Let's
Detroit?
not get into
Detroit
this.
is a return to form for Quantic Dream.
It is.
After
and
the
I won't-
massive
I
L,
won't take that away from
ginormous
them.
L that was Beyond Two Souls. That game
Beyond
was
Two
an
Souls was
absolute
trash.
That was
disaster.
horrible.
You know, and the sad thing with that whole situation was they had done something amazing with Heavy Rain, and it was just a simple matter of getting the setting right and capturing those feelings that the first that Heavy Rain gave us. And Detroit, between you being Connor, Marcus, and God, what's the chick android's name again? Kara.
Yeah.
The Kara demo.
Yeah, you remember that, huh? Because with
this graphics, you look at it now. What?
yeah, but at the time, incredible. And it's the same thing. Detroit.
Did they
visually-
even end up using that? Like, besides using her as a character, but the engine
no,
will
but
show
it was more of an engine.
That's
demo
why I
and
hate
stuff.
engine demos.
was
But the
very
game
graphic.
turned out looking actually better than that.
No, I know, but I mean, is the point of that demo was to say, look at this engine. They didn't make anything.
He had
that
to show
engine.
you his emotion. David Cage had to show you emotion.
I hate engine demos.
But with the three different characters, with Connor, he's the cop. You guys know the premise of Detroit, right?
Yeah.
And
It's a demo.
yeah.
kind of stayed away from it.
Ah,
because
okay.
still
I
wanna
saw
get
it
into
when
No,
they
I'm
did
trying
the
to-
Zuckerberg
But I know
thing.
basically what their
Yeah.
roles is called.
Yeah, non-spoilery as possible. That I'll try to say this, but like with Connor, you're getting more. Remember the detective in Heavy Rain?
Heavy
You're
Rain.
getting that with the AR stuff. Kara, you're getting like the emotional
But he always
side.
does that. I'm not taking away anything.
Yeah.
But he did, even in Fahrenheit, he had the character just like that. You played Fahrenheit before?
No.
That's the original. You see, that's the thing.
OG.
We played Fahrenheit. That's the original one. Then Heavy Rain came out, and Fahrenheit was like up here. Heavy
That was
Rain
like what,
took it all the way.
2004 or something?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
PS2.
The only
Yeah.
reason why I've selected Detroit is because last year there were an array of games where people were trying something very different or they were enhancing on what they had already built. Like I'm talking about Assassin's Creed, and I'm talking about Kingdom Come, and look at the list we have already. Like we're talking about Monster Hunter, God of War, Spiderman.
But those, I'm not arguing with those games. I'm not saying it's like competing with those games.
I'm not taking anything away from Detroit, but then the fact of the matter is that I don't think that it can compete.
Every scenario has like a minimum of like 5 different completely different outcomes. Like the scale that game operates in terms of decision making, I cannot even begin. Yeah, I cannot even begin to imagine how Quantic Dream created that game, because even with the number of endings, I mean, we already got a taste of that in Heavy Rain especially, but like after every scenario, like I was saying a little earlier today, you get a flow chart with like showing you how you ended up where you did, and it doesn't spoil those other options because they're all like locked, and so you have
decision.
But what can I ask, what does that do now to the organic flow of play? Why I'm asking this is when I first played Heavy Rain, it was in a time where it wasn't as long, but like because I was so captured in the story, I went and tried different things on purpose.
Yeah.
The problem with those types of games sometimes is you don't have the time to be like, okay, now I'm gonna get through that dialogue because I want to get through that.
No, but again,
did it feel like
Detroit, you can play individual scenarios if you want to see everything. You don't have to play the game from the beginning.
Load up.
You can just load up this particular scenario and try to check. You can try to check off. You can try to get every single branch. So even replay value is there because you're not forced to start from the beginning. You can just over and over play individual scenarios, which is
now
really cool.
With Heavy Rain, I remember there was I think 18 different endings.
Yeah.
But bearing that in mind, it's like maybe like each character has like 6 individual endings. So it kind of plays like, okay, character A, here's the scenario. Character B, here's the scenario. Is it similar to this, or is it like, look, this every single choice has led to this one huge cinematic cutscene?
No, they're completely different because, for example, you can lose Connor in the very first scenario. You can get shot in the head.
No, true, but again, that's the same thing with Heavy Rain. I remember my friend, right after I finished playing it, he played it, and there's basically there's a scene, not to spoil anything if you want to play it, but with the woman that you control, like, you know, there's like quite a bit of a hectic situation, and he made a very foolish choice. She died instantly, and you know, she had kind of like a funeral, like not even a funeral, it was like mentioned in the news type of thing. Oh, and this reporter, so and so happened.
But it didn't affect.
But yeah, that was basically her cutscene. You know, whereas if you did this one individual thing,
no. It's not like, I know what you're trying to get at. You're trying to say it's like kind of like. How can
like
I
you
say?
could say I've got 50 different scenarios,
but they're kind of similar. Like it's just a tiny little thing that changes. It's not like that, dude. Like here, the endings are vastly different from each other depending on the choices that you've made. Like the scenarios, I've only beaten the game once, and the ending I got was pretty good, but something bad happened to one of my characters towards the end and stuff. But from my understanding and from the few, it's hard to say because I haven't gone back and played it a lot, but from like what I've seen on YouTube and stuff, like the scenarios differ vastly. Like from if you lose Connor, for example, in the first mission, Connor has a whole arc in the game that impacts the world and the other 2 characters as well. You're losing that whole avenue, which is going to influence what Kara and Marcus do themselves.
But again, that was in Heavy Rain. There's situations where you can die early. And basically the end thing was one of 2 ways that he died. You know, like okay, so
I think but I think why I'm saying that is because I think in every scenario there's quite a few scenarios where characters can die. But
let's say you've got like a whole branching line, and by the time you come to the very last decision, do you think that if you go back, like you're saying, replay
it's not one decision.
The very last decision will make a vast difference, or
it's decisions that you've been making from like hours before that will also impact your ending. So that's where it's hard to. But then again, it's hard to say because again, I haven't seen all the endings and stuff. I've just read a bit of people's endings because I also feel like my ending is my ending. I don't want to know about too much of the stuff. You know what I mean?
Deserves a star then.
Yeah, I kind of don't like knowing about. It's like alternate realities. I don't need to know about the better version of Ole, who's a billionaire. You know what I mean? I don't need to know about that.
Okay, so then let's give it a star.
It's gonna get a star.
Yeah. Let's put it to the side.
Okay, but can we agree that's not in the top 5?
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. No problem.
So let's see who's next.
Alan.
Okay. Oh, Alan.
Yeah. Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yeah, we're.
Let me just see the list.
Yeah. Up here. So this is
in the same wave, man.
This
I got you this year.
For me, it's gonna be.
Except
Odyssey.
the top three, I know are gonna fight. The top three, that's when we're not.
Well, we're arguing over.
Oh yeah, we're getting the
Odyssey.
I've probably clocked the most. I've just reached about 50 hours in that game. So I would be comfortable.
You picked Odyssey?
Yeah.
I would be comfortable with having AC Odyssey at number 8, to be honest, because it's a tasty Big Mac. But imagine you're given 1,000 tasty Big Macs and you have to eat them every time you play the game.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the map is freaking huge. It is massive. Tons of side quests, great. A lot of the side quests are good. Boiled down to go to this camp, steal something, go to this guy, kill him.
This
So
guy.
it's kind of whatever. But the character interactions, especially if you choose Cassandra, I feel. If you end up picking Cassandra.
We just always pick girls.
Yeah, but
God's not pleased.
she's objectively the better character. I'm sorry. Like she's way better to play than Alexios. He's whack.
Wow.
It's just a fact. I also actually surprisingly really like this story as the more I've been playing it. It's got 3 different story arcs, which is really cool. So it's not just one main story. It's like 3 different things of like, you've got a family thing, you've got the war with between Greece and with the Spartans and the Athenians, and then you've got the Spear of Leonidas kind of thing, that story that you're kind of also going to. Yeah, through the same character, and you've got the cult of Cosmos, who are like the precursors to the Templars, who are basically that whole thing as well. So like they've got all these different and they're all part of main quest tab.
Makes me feel like
individual tabs on the main quest. And the story, especially the family's side of it, hard to say without spoilers and everything.
Makes me feel like you're
really
describing The Witcher as well.
Yeah, it's way Witcher. It's super Witcher. Yeah. It is super Witcher.
Because The Witcher, you are
super
pretty much
Witcher,
juggling 3 different parts of your life.
Yeah, and Cassandra's a really good character as well. She's sarcastic and stuff.
So we're going to agree that is that going to be 8?
Yeah, the problem, just a quick one, the problem with this is it's not...
I don't want to hear the problem.
No, it's not. I just want to say this because I'm not going to get to say it again. It's not an Assassin's Creed game.
That's not a problem.
Because it takes...
No,
it's a problem. Because it's got nothing to do with the Templars and
that is not a problem.
It's open fields.
I
like that. I like that stuff. I'm starting to miss that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm missing the rooftops. I'm missing the interplay between the Templars and the assassins and stuff. I'm missing that. It's a swords and sandals game. Someone said that.
Okay, so can we say 7th is Detroit?
Yes. I am fine with that.
Detroit can reach 7th?
Yeah, if everybody's cool, I don't have a problem with Detroit being 7th.
Then that means 6th is Kingdom Come.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely deserved higher in the top 10, but 6 is a very good spot.
But she made it.
You've got Kingdom Come above Detroit. Which
No, I don't mean it should be in the top 5. I'm happy with it being, just below.
Oh man.
So
it's real now.
Should I read these off?
Read them out, man. We're done.
Yeah.
All right. So let's read out our position 6 to 10. So in 10th we have Fortnite. In 9th we have Dragon Ball FighterZ. In 8th we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. In 7th we have Detroit Become Human, and in 6th we have Kingdom Come Deliverance. Sound good?
That's good. Sounds good to us.
All right, we're going to take one more break, and you can join us for the final true elimination chamber, which is positions 1 to 5. This is the In Control Game of the Year podcast 2018. We'll see you in the next segment.
Hot, my boy.
Kojima.